Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, hey, Nick Collier here, and we've got a couple of exciting things to do today. Going on with the roller project, we're going to take and trim down the, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's pull it out and have a look here. We're going to, these little bosses are sticking out so that the whoever made this can put a bolt in there, and of course the bolt messes up the shaft and everything. So we're going to go in, we're going to trim those off to the face of this, and then come back in and put a keyway in there. So pretty simple project. Just trim off the cast iron, and then a little later on we're going to bring, this is what is it? Okay, it's a steel blank, and I'm going to make the gear out of that. Now what we have to do is, this is 1.25 inches, and I need to bring it down to 1 inch, and then I need to bring the perimeter down to, what am I bringing it down to? 5 inches 096 in order to get 32 teeth to lay in there properly, and that'll give us the right amount of teeth to interact with the bigger wheel. So and that said, why don't we just get started? All right, this first part's going to be pretty easy. We're just going to trim off those bosses. I'd say let's spin a little faster. There we go. And I'm going to shut her down for a second and make sure we're good and tight, because we're kind of hanging out there on the end. And boy, no, we weren't good and tight. Oh, it is cast steel. That's great, because I can weld to it. Okay, so much thicker boss right there, and we'll be able to put a taper in that real, or I mean a keyway in that real easy. Okay. Okay, so we've got our keyway set up, and all we need to do now is just bring our press down and push that baby down. We need to get a little cutting oil on that. Okay, I'd say that looks like a reasonable keyway. We might be able to run it through one more time, but I'm thinking that's going to be just fine. Hey, Nick Collier here, and the more I look at this project, the more I'm seeing that this little gear is going to be my better approach. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this gear up, bore it out to the right size, put a keyway in it, keyway the shaft, and then put this thing in and start setting it up. So we're going to put the four-jaw in. We're going to get this thing concentric and then bore out the interior. And we'll do all this on the little south bin just because it's a nice little quiet machine, and actually in some ways it's more accurate than the big lathe. Let's see if we got you centered here. Well, that's not too bad. Bring it in a little closer maybe. There we go. All right. And since we have 20 teeth and 4 jaws, this thing will actually be able to sit right on top of a tooth. Or actually it could sit in the valley because it is a new gear. All right, finally. Okay, so now probably the best thing to do is bring this in, bring this in, loosen everybody up, snug that down till it's reasonably centered. Let's get these things rotated. Nope, one of them's not releasing. There we go. Put it so it sits right on the top of a tooth, and I'll be back. Okay, we got this dialed in. We're sitting, looks like at about 1 thou, and I can certainly live with that. But you know, I'm looking at the outside. Can you see that? Looks like the outside's jumping around a bit, and that's really where I want it to be. That's interesting that that part's out. So we're going to fiddle with this a little bit more. Okay, so we came in and indicated the flat surface here, made sure that was square, and then we came in and indicated the tips of each one of these teeth and got that squared up, and now it's running fairly well. I mean, it's running true within about 1 thou. And look at that hole. That sucker's off by probably 15 thousandths. So somewhere I screwed up, which, you know, I'm known to do on a regular basis. So we're going to go in and true up this hole, see what we can come up with. .680. One, two, three. That's it. So that's about as good a press fit as you can get. All right, so this fits in there. We're going to press that in, But first we want to put a keyway in here, and we definitely want to put a keyway hole in there. So, but for the moment, I think I want to pull some of the metal out of this just to kind of make it look nice. You know, come on. Let's find a radius bit. That's a pretty nice one, although it's not a true radius. Maybe we'll take this over and grind a little bit and get it a little bit more roundy. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to take a fresh one and round it up. So I'll be back. We got our hole, we got our gears. I think this baby's ready to go, except for putting a keyway in there. Yeah, that looks good. This side I think we'll just won't worry about. But I will put it back in. And clean up this seat. Nice. Okay, we're going to go cut a keyway, of course.
Yeah. I'm off of sweets till my birthday.
You're what?
I'm off of sweets till my birthday.
Okay, till your birthday. She's off of sweets until her birthday.
It was good though. It was a good run.
What? A brownie?
Huh?
A brownie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, stuff I can't have anymore. Anyhow, we're cutting a keyway here, and I wish I had a, what is it? But whatever it is that I wish I had, I have this, which takes for goddamn ever. But it does do the trick, and hey, if you don't have the right tool, you use the tool you have, correct? So I'll fast forward it here so you don't get too bored. Okay, so we made our first pass. Now we're going for the second one, and I'll fast forward this too. Okay, we about to put the bigger keyway in. I think that's going to give me a little bit more beef. Oh, it's an arbor press that I wished I had. At least a decent sized one. I got a little dinky one about that big, but one that could handle this. This would go a lot faster with an arbor press. But what the hell. Okay, check it out. We don't need no fucking arbor press. This just goes in like it was nobody's business. Zippity doo dah. There it goes. Nice. And we've got ourselves a nice keyway right there. I wouldn't mind going just a little bit deeper, just for the fun of it. Okay, so we set up dead center up for the keyway cutter. The problem is of course the battery went dead and I wasn't looking, so that whole setup went by the wayside. But we're here now, and we're going to drop this in just a little bit at a time. How to check it is a whole nother ball game. I wish they made a pair of calipers that were about this big, because there's a bunch of times when I can't get in there. Just like now. We're off at an angle, so there's nothing I can do about it. All right, let's take it out and measure it. We can always put it back in. And since I have this pretty tight lathe dog in here, it'll index back in pretty easily. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. We are at 185. I can live with 185. All right, so that gets us the keyway and the, now all we need is a key. And, you know, I'll be lucky if I have one this size laying around. We're probably going to have to go into the local hardware store and pick one up. Okay, so I don't have a Woodruff key, and I'm not going into town anytime soon. Town isn't that far away, but still, I want to get this done. Or not done, but at least to the next step. So I found myself a piece of key stock, and I'm grinding this sucker down. And it's taken forever, of course. All right, so we got the back side of that cut off. Now we'll come in and shape it, and then and of course I'm hanging on to it with a pair of vice grips, because this sucker is definitely going to get hot. Now we can't try it because of course we have to press it on, but we can just kind of get an idea of how high it needs to be and how high it is. And I think we've got ourselves a key. It's not the straightest key in the world. Can you see it? Can you see the light shining through it? I don't know. But there's plenty of meat holding that thing in place. And I think we're going to be just fine. So let's take it over and press it on, see what we can come up with. All right, well, it's a little hard to see, isn't it? There's not quite enough light. That's a little better. Let's give it a try. Uh-oh. What's happening? Nice. Okay, so we've got ourselves a gear on a shaft, and now we can put the transmission back together, and I am a happy camper. Okay, let's take this gearbox apart and see what we've come up with. Okay, the bearing went in without a problem. It's all nice and smooth. Everybody's happy. Let's put the keyway in. Since we're done machining for the day, I don't think we need the compressor any longer. Now, one thing I see is there's just a little bit of a booger right there. I might be able to get it out with the file. Let's give that a try. That feels pretty good. A little tap, a little nudge, and we're in like flint. Oh, yeah, but, oh, I can get it in there. This goes in here, and then the gear goes on top of that. Come on, gear. I'm gonna have to get a flashlight. Before I start tapping that baby in, I want to make sure I'm sitting on top of that key and I don't see it. So let's get the gear back up. Line that key up better. Alright, the key is going to line up directly perpendicular to the unit itself. This is going to go here. That's going to drop in right like that. Just and let's take it back over to the press and do this again. Let me see if I can get some of this grease out of here. There we go. We'll be back. Okay, so that went all the way on. Now all we need to do is put our little snap ring back in place. And I think we're ready to go back together. There it is. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's spin you around to the motor itself. Back up just a little bit. And I think this is going to go on top of here. Oops. Housing goes the other way. No, maybe it doesn't. There it is. And I'm not seeing it grab. Oh, it isn't down all the way, that's why. Grab it pretty tight. Yep, there it goes. Okay, now it's still a bit loose because there's no bushing on this end, but you know, it's not very, so I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Let's just give it a try and see how it spins. Oh, I'd say that looks pretty good. Let's get that wheel up here and see what that looks like. I'm going to go find a shaft to put the wheel on. Be right back. Okay, so we're just doing a quick test run here. Now the problem is I can't hold it. Well, yes, I can. For me, that looks like just about the perfect speed. Oh man, this is great. You know, you never can tell with this stuff. You just, I mean, I guess there's a way of calculating, and all the engineers out there in the world would go, oh man, I know how to calculate that. By the way, I'm what they call a seat of the pants engineer, as you can tell. So you don't get much calculation from me, but you get kind of a, you know, hey, let's just wing it and see if it works.